Hi and welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me, John, on this Thursday the 23rd of February. Here we have two types of tables in front of us. We have our trend traders table and our day traders table. These are the same studies but just highlighting different time frames. You can see here some of the currencies are highlighted in green. That means there is a confluence between those trading time frames, and that's where we're focusing most of our attention in these videos. The tables auto update every 5 minutes 24/7, meaning that our members can see how the markets stand right now in real time. So what are the tables showing us today? Well, it shows us that the dollar remains top of our trend traders table, however is the second strongest on our day traders, and the Australian dollar is the third weakest currency on our trend traders but tops our day traders as the weakest currency. So really speaking, the only highlighted currencies today are the dollar and the Australian dollar. So we will be looking at Aussie US dollar in this video to suggest where price could potentially go to next in line with the technicals. I am going to look around as well. So despite the fact that these are the only two highlighted currencies, we also have to be aware that we can look at the other non-highlighted currencies. So I have had a look around and I saw that pound was the strongest currency, so I've had a look around to see what other pairs are interesting. Euro pound is quite interesting at the moment, so we will go take a look at that pair as well. So looking at Aussie US dollar first though, if we jump into that chart, you can see them on the daily. We've been talking about Aussie US dollar for the past couple of days because we've been talking about how price could trade down into this supporting area here, and now we're here. Can we look for opportunities to either look for a pullback or look for price to continue to the downside? Now the currency strength indicator table also suggesting that we look for further downside, which could bring price down to the 0.67 handle, or we could see price slightly rebound up to the 0.6875 and look for an opportunity down through there. So I think the only thing we've got a problem with at the moment is we've got this trend line support running through, which has formed back down through here in October, and we've also got the 200 daily moving average in contest with that area, in confluence with that area. So that's going to be a little bit of a sticking point. So if I go down to the 8-hour time frame, you can also see that's previous lows as well, where price has come in and rejected. So I'm looking to see how we react here. If I go jump down to another lower time frame, at the moment you can see that it's still fairly bearish here at the moment. So looking to see how we break down, and if we break down, I think if we trade below the current lows here at the 0.68 and through this 200 daily moving average, it's going to give us an opportunity to trade down towards that 0.67 handle. If, however, we do start finding support here and we start trading back up, we're either going to look at the previous structure highs around about the 0.69 or that 0.6875 like we just pointed out for an opportunity lower, depending on if the Aussie US dollar remains on the live currency strength indicator tables. So that's something to consider with Aussie at the moment. Despite it being on the table, we are at support, so it's best to sit on your hands, wait for price to develop. If it develops in the way that's in line with our narrative, then we can look for further opportunities. If it doesn't go along with our narrative, then we can leave this one to the side. Now, like I said, looked around at other pairs as well, and I quite liked Euro Pound. Although they're not highlighted in here, it's still good to have a little look at where the momentum is in the market. And according to the tables, is with the pound as the strongest currency. So I want to have a little look at that currency across the board, and I looked at Euro Pound, and if we just jump over to Euro Pound, you'll see why there is a potential for further downside here. Now if I go to the monthly time frame, just to give us our bigger picture narrative, you can see that we're trading in an overall range. Okay, you can see that 0.9250 highs in here and the 0.83 handle lows, so the price is trading within that, and Euro Pound has been within this range for some years now, and we're kind of coming into the sort of middle of that range, and we're finding a little bit of resistance. So if I was to go down into a lower time frame like the daily, for instance, you can see that price has been working within a bit of a bullish channel within the range. We've come to the high of the bullish channel, which is the 0.8975, and we've rejected. Price has then come and formed a lower high, and then we've broken down again, trading through the lows here, trading through this trend line support that I've got mapped out. So if the pound is going to remain strong and the euro is showing some signs of weakness, we could expect price to extend lower into either these daily lows through here, which we'll go take a look at in a second, or the 0 spot 86.50, which holds confluence really with the bearish channel low as well as the 200 daily moving average. So I quite like the opportunity here. Now if we go down into that 8-hour time frame, you can see that I've marked out these previous lows at the 0 spot 87.25. That's an area of interest obviously because price has rallied over 240 pips from that point, so buyers were active around this area, so we want to make sure that we're kind of seeing how price reacts at that point. But again, you can see how aggressive sellers got here recently. So I'm looking to see if sellers get aggressive again down to that key area of support. And then if we bounce and break, we can then look for that further downside to the 0 spot 86.50. Now I've highlighted a couple of areas of resistance which interest me. So we've kind of got the trend line resistance running through here, as well as this sort of area before the sellers got aggressive, and that's around about the 0 spot 88.60 area. Okay, so I'm interested in this zone for a short opportunity. So if price can come all the way back up there, I'd look for that price to continue its downward move. Alternatively, where the sellers began selling in the first place could also offer an area of resistance. Now this is all going to depend on if price can pull back. Okay, if it can't pull back and we stay within this tight trading zone and price just breaks that tight trading zone, then you may want to look at sort of opportunities below this recently formed low. Okay, so something like that on a lower time frame. Okay, so definitely two markets to consider. I quite like this euro pound setup, to be honest. It looks quite clean. We also have to take into consideration that the Aussie US dollar is at support at the moment, so we need to wait for price to develop a little bit more here to kind of come into line with our current narrative of this market. So hope you have a good trading day, and I'll speak to you in the next video.